mynews.studio.
In southern Syria, there are now solar panels spread across fields that once showed clear signs of war. The question is, can green energy help rebuild a nation that's been through so much?
Today is August 7th, 2025. After more than 10 years of war and U.S. sanctions, Syria's energy system was left barely functioning. Before the conflict in 2011, the country generated around 9.5 gigawatts of electricity. Now, it's just 1.6 gigawatts. That's a dramatic drop. Millions have had to deal with constant blackouts, and the economy has taken a real hit. But back in May, the U.S. lifted sanctions. Why did that moment matter so much?
The sanctions basically cut Syria off from international investment and stopped technology from coming in. So when they were lifted, it was as if someone finally opened a locked door. Almost right away, Syria's Ministry of Energy started signing agreements with some major international companies: American, Qatari, Turkish, and Saudi. Together, they're aiming for over 1,200 megawatts in solar projects. The standout is a 1,000-megawatt solar plant planned for Wadi al-Rabi. Can you picture what that means for a country whose entire power generation is barely above that? The standout is a 1,000-megawatt solar plant planned for Wadi al-Rabi. Can you picture what that means for a country whose entire power generation is barely above that?
That's a game changer. Just that one plant could almost double Syria's current electricity output. And there's even more. A $7 billion investment package for 4 combined-cycle gas turbine plants, plus 2 100-megawatt solar plants, one of those with battery storage, which should help stabilize the grid. The government wants to reach 1,500 megawatts of solar by 2030. That's about 10% of Syria's total energy needs. But I have to ask, where's the immediate help coming from? Solar projects take time to build.
That's an important point. In the short term, Qatar is stepping in to supply natural gas for power plants in Aleppo and Damascus. That's helping keep the lights on while these solar projects get off the ground. There's also the Darnus project, which ICARDA is leading. It brings solar technology to agriculture, letting farmers move from diesel to renewables. Why does that shift matter so much for Syria's recovery?
It has a direct impact on rural communities. Farming is at the core of Syria's economy. If farmers can lower their costs and aren't so dependent on imported fuel, that strengthens food security and helps stabilize the economy. And there's also the climate factor, lower carbon emissions. But with so much new investment, isn't there still a lot of risk, given the country's recent history?
Definitely, security is still a worry. There's a chance that money could be misused or that technology could be diverted. To counter this, the government is making sure that large deals involve multinational consortia and that thorough technical studies happen before contracts are signed. They're also promising more transparency and outside oversight. Is that likely to be enough for investors to feel comfortable, do you think?
It's a good first step, but trust takes time to rebuild. One thing that stands out is the focus on building a skilled local workforce. The new agreements include on-the-job training and the creation of local training centers. That's not just about getting the new infrastructure up and running. It's about making sure it lasts. Do you think that approach helps avoid the kind of build and abandon problems we've seen in other places?
It should help. If local technicians know how to maintain and even expand these systems, Syria won't have to rely on outside help. And there's another element: regional competition. Countries like Turkey, Qatar, and Saudi Arabia all want to play a part in Syria's recovery. That could actually drive up standards and attract more investment. Do you think this kind of competition might influence reconstruction in other post-conflict countries?
If it works in Syria, yes, it might. This is almost like a test case, showing how green technology and politics can intersect. International investment isn't just about making money. It's about building stability and meeting climate goals. If Syria manages to do this, it could set a new example for rebuilding after conflict, a way that's cleaner, more resilient, and less tied to imported fossil fuels.
So, the push for solar energy in Syria isn't just about electricity. It's about jobs, security, and possibly a new model for recovery after war. A lot of eyes are watching to see if this bet on green technology will succeed.
That's really the heart of it. If these projects come through, it could change life for millions, and maybe set a direction for the entire region.
Syria's journey from darkness to a leader in solar energy is moving quickly. Thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for listening. Today's episode was brought to you by mynews.studio. You can try it now for free.